Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our video. For today, I am going to show you basically my thought process when I trade the markets for NY session. So what we'll do is basically a video of a thought process of an ICT trader. We'll take you along to our market analysis. We'll take a trade on a random chart on FX Replay. So that's what we'll do, just to show you basically what I look for during the day, what trades I take, what is the most important and confluences for me. So basically, my all in all on how I trade and what we do during the market. So we're here on FX Replay right now. We've set up a backtesting setting and put the date to random, and we ended up in March 25, 2024. So what we'll do, just to show you that it is a random market, is we'll tell Google to pick a number from 1 to 10. 3. All right, so we've got 3. We'll go skip over to the next NY session 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Where is ES? Where have we gone to? ES, NQ. All right. So what I like to do is I'll have my chart open for NQ and I'll have my chart open for ES. This is because these two assets are correlated, which means they move basically in the same way, they move in the same patterns, and therefore, I like to look at them both just in case there's a differences between both of these assets, and they'll give us basically a confluence or a signal of where the market might be going. So first things first, we'll go on the higher time frames. This is what I do pre-market. Oh, you know what? I think this is at 355. So let me skip this over to about 6:15. There we go. And we'll skip over to that so we can make our market analysis. While this is going, let me just take a sip of my cup of joe. For good luck, of course. I never drink coffee recreationally. I like doing it for good luck, if you know what I mean. All right, let's do it. Okay, 4 hours. And ES is on the same page, which is good. All right, 4 hours. I think we're reaching all-time highs here, which I really don't like. Oh my goodness. I can already almost tell that this is a bullish market. Reason being is that we've created so much LRL right here. Look at that LRL. When market opens, that might just boom up from there. So what we can see on the 4 hour right away is that market is completely different for... Oh, it did not move. Did it not move for... Oh no, it did. I'm just tripping out. For market NQ and ES, it's... Oh my goodness, the difference is just crazy. This is gonna be tough, but we'll see what we can do. So NQ made them, LRL right here, which price might just sweep through that. But you can see on ES, it almost, swept through it already, which is, I don't like that at all. So we'll just continue. Let's not get distracted here. So for 4 hours, we can see that it left a 1 hour for value or 4 hour for value gap right here, which ES already tapped into, or NQ already tapped into, and ES already tapped into as well. We can see that we got some liquidity sweeps right here down below as well. This is 7 a.m. 7 a.m. We swept that, and NQ ES did. All right, we got a liquidity sweep right here. We've got a liquidity sweep as well right there for NQ, and created an SMT for ES. Now that's what we like to see, if we are going into this market bullish, that means for me that might be a protected low, and price does not want to trace back to that, especially making this 4 hour for value gap that we've tapped into, and price just completely consolidated. But all right, so that's what we can see on the 4 hour. Now what I'll do is I'll go on the 1 hour and basically do a top down analysis from here. As we can see, price is just consolidating right here, which I really don't like neither. But ES actually swept this high, made an SMT. So ES swept this high, while NQ haven't. But we will disregard that for the reason being that that's actually a BOS instead of a liquidity sweep. Also after that, price just starts consolidating and it doesn't move down, so we will take it that this will be the draw on liquidity for ES. So right now we are very bullish on this markets. We've made some displacements above and we've tapped into it. We're just basically consolidating right now, so I'm not sure what the price wants to do when market opens. It might what I'm thinking is it might manipulate down here for both before going back up, making a setup for us. So hopefully that will do it. We'll just see. So currently we are in a 1 hour for value gap. I'm not gonna mark that. I've just got that in my head that we are in it already, so no need to mark it up for me. Let's see what ES is doing here. Still consolidating. Not much really. We've tapped into some 15-minute right here. 15-minute. Got an inversion right there, which disregarded that. Kind of an equal high as well right there. SMT as well. All right. 5 minute. All right, not much else to mark here because price is just completely consolidating. So we're gonna have to wait. Until market open to basically determine what price might be doing. So we can see market open Asia just consolidating, and right on London we've swept lower and manipulated, so that might be an AMD setup as well. This is a tough video because I'm not really marking much because there isn't much to mark. So we'll just have to wait and see what market does when it opens. So market's about to open here. Let's just make sure that ES is moving accordingly for FX replay. 6:30, the next candle. Okay, here we go. See what I mean? Just I said, when market opened, we got a manipulation down below, right where I put this line. That's what I said was gonna might happen. I'm not predicting the market. We're not a fortune teller here, but so market when price open. Sorry, when the market opened, price manipulated down below, swept this low, and basically left an SMT also on ES, which we like because like I said, we're bullish. We're very bullish right now, meaning an SMT down below is just confirming that we might be going higher. So we'll see here, or what we would like to see after this is an inversion of this gap that has been left after price open. So what we'll have to see here is maybe price to dip back down a little bit, if we even get a fair value gap right here, and that's the one we inversed, and that's where I'll put my entry. But right now we're very bullish. We're gonna look for our long setup. So let's get market going here and see what it does. Okay, so we did leave another one right here. Let's change that. Oh, that's text. That's why. That's why I'm tripping out. Okay, we're gonna disregard this one since we've already left. All right. Market manipulated down below, swept this low on NQ. ES was not able to do that, leaving an SMT. We've got a 1 minute for value gap right here that we are hoping we inverse. If we get an inversion on this 1 minute, then that's where I'll put my long and target some liquidity above. So we'll see if it inverses this. All right, we got an inversion right there. We'll take this long. We'll put our stop loss right below this candle because that's where the SMT is, and that's, I'm projecting that's where our protected low will be. We'll target maybe this high. That leaves us 1:2. We'll target that liquidity right above that. I think, yeah, that's market as well. What is this? Thursday. That might be, no, this is 28th. Maybe ADP. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the ADP news, but that's data high. When we get a wick that long right on the 5:30 candle, that usually means that it's from some type of news. So we'll take this trade. This is a 1:2 trade. Very simple, very safe, a very textbook. So we'll see if it plays out. Going up, going up, going up. Let's take a sip of our coffee for good luck. And right after we take a sip of that coffee, boom, take profit hit. So that's what we do. You know what I mean? That's how I basically trade. So that trade would have left us some good profits right there. It's 1:2 trade and very safe. All right, we'll just go right over it again. Price during London, we swept some lows here on NQ. We swept some lows here. We've got some liquidity sweep. After that liquidity sweep, we've got a displacement above, inversing this 4-hour for value gap and leaving a bullish fair value gap here. And after tapping into that, price seems to be respecting it. Therefore, we are very bullish on this market conditions. We've got some, pools of liquidity above that we are able to target. So that's what makes it even more of a strong setup. Now, before market opens, since it's consolidating here, we would like to see it manipulate before market goes up. Ladies and gentlemen, before market goes up, it must manipulate down below. Before it goes up, it must come down before it goes up. Before it goes down, it must come up before it goes down. Do you understand? So how we were able to, I guess, predict this condition right here is because if we have the thought process that it's bullish and that we know it's going to come down before it goes up, then we can expect market to manipulate this low, one of these low. And since the market did manipulate this low, like we marked out, we swept it, and ES did not, creating an SMT, a protected low, a bullish SMT, creating this protected low. Then we can expect price to move back up, to continue going back up. Now, when market opens, it left a 1 minute for value gap right here. Now, for my entry to begin, for me to be able to enter a trade, I'd need for this for value gap to be inversed. So we can get an inversion on this 1 minute for value gap. And as we can see by this candle right here, we were able to get an inversion. That's where we put our entry, stop loss right below this SMT, targeting this liquidity right above, which is data high as well. And once that happens, boom, take profit. So that's basically what I look for during market conditions during NY session. This is basically my thought process. This is how I trade. So I hope you were able to learn at least a little bit of something from this video, and maybe apply it to your own trading one day, maybe tomorrow. All right. Well, that'll be it for our video. Thank you, everyone, whoever watches this. Thank you for tuning in and watching it, and hopefully, like I said, you learned something. We'll be back with another video, maybe another trade recap or another one of this market analysis and live paper trading, so to say. So that'll be it. Hope everyone have a good rest of your day. Hope you have a good weekend. If you're watching this in the weekend, hope you have a good rest of your week. Peace.